God bless you. Thank you for joining with us. I'm Dr. David J. Rogers, and this is Rivers Edge Today. We're continuing follow-up from last episode with John and Jennifer Mitchell of Rivers Edge Church. Now, we know that you're a part of the church, and we know that you are we talked about how you are continuing the mantle and the vision and the mission that from Dr. Eddie Mitchell and Joyce Mitchell for Rivers Edge Church, and how you're moving it forward. But in that same way, you have also been marketplace ministers, because you haven't really been in that week in, week out, day-to-day role as pastors. Jennifer, you had mentioned something that I thought was really important, is about being real versus managing expectations. And there are a lot of times when churches are happening that, there are some unfortunate expectations that need to be met. Expand on that, because I thought it was a very valid point that needs to be brought out.
Yeah, for me, it's just about having that real relationship, that real connection, and not being afraid to be myself. And for a long time, it felt like, we had to have a facade or a special appearance, a certain way you dressed or talked. We just want people to know that, we're real. Just like you, I'm real. I have feelings. I have life experiences, and I can come to church in my blue jeans this Sunday and a dress next Sunday, and it doesn't change who I am, And so I want to operate the same here in the church as I do in the Learning Center, or, John at work, or if you run into me at Walmart, you're going to see the same person. And we just want that real relationship with people.
And that's awesome. There are so many times that, and I've heard this, I've been around, I got white hair now, I've been around the church for a while. I have seen so many times where people are, well, I have to be one way at church. But in the world, where I'm at work or I'm at the grocery store, as you pointed out, they're a completely different person. And you go like, well, they look familiar. But, oh, that's not the person I know from church, because what they're saying is, not. And you get this false expectation. The reality is that Jesus went to the cross for us so that we can have a gifted righteousness, which kind of implies that we don't have it. We have to kind of work it out. And Paul said, work out your salvation. And that's what we're doing. And, from a marketplace ministry standpoint, the Little Explorers Learning Center, that is tied to Rivers Edge Church, but your client base, they don't all attend Rivers Edge Church.
No, very few, honestly, but we're not worried about that. It's really just about meeting the need of our community and taking care of the most precious of our community, which is the children.
There's another distinction that you actually taught me this. The difference between a learning center and a daycare. A daycare is a paid babysitter.
Right.
A learning center, you're actually educating them, depending on their age group, ABC, blue, red, yellow, and all that fun stuff.
They learn the most. We are doing our most developing, our brain development, those first 5 years. You think of dual language homes. If the mom is, let's say, Latino, if one parent speaks one language to the child and the other parent speaks the other language, the child's going to pick up both. Because their little brains are just like sponges. And so this is a critical point in their foundation. And so it's vital what we do every day with the children here at the Learning Center.
That's awesome. It's so needed.
It is.
It's to also give them a safe place and not just, well, we won't run that tangent, but there are some crazy places out there that are teaching some really strange things. And John, you as a marketplace minister, that's your opportunity to, you work Well, tell us about the work that you do away from the church.
So after I got out of the Marine Corps, I did a little stunt with the Sheriff's Department in Dallas. Didn't really work out, so I started out in the swimming pool business in Dallas, just running service. And once we moved out here, we continued to work a couple of jobs till we kind of got our feet underneath us. And then in 2015, I bought a franchise with Blue Haven Pools. And I didn't get in this thing to do anything special. It just took off, and it's all God. You know what I mean? Years and years of giving and family praying for you, and just the right place, right time. And we've had a very successful run with Blue Haven here in Central Alabama. We have an office in Birmingham. We're opening one in Huntsville, one down south, and so we build swimming pools. But in all that, really and truly, I'm kind of like the daddy of the business. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys come from dysfunctional families, just like ours, but we're able to, able to talk to them, help them through their needs. Dad always taught us to lead from the front, not from the back, and so I've tried to just implement that in my actions, not just to be a boss or a business owner, but to also be a person that they want to lead with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And build the character of the people with me, and build a business of integrity too. And that's so needed in the marketplace. So many people are running around just doing whatever. We've tried. I tell my guys all the time, if it's wrong, it's wrong. We don't make excuses for it. If it's right, we'll stand our ground. And I think you just have to have a business of integrity, feeding your people just like you're feeding your people at church, and it's worked well.
And that leads to one of the things that you do as a Christian in the marketplace. The Learning Center, they don't look at you as, this is an outreach of the church, even though it's an outreach of the church.
Right.
And in building pools, you're digging holes, filling them up, and changing people's lives. But one of the other things that you're doing out there is, as a Christian example, as a Christian leader, is you're quietly shouldering this burden of not only running a business and being successful because you have those employees, but also in the witness. Paul said that we're living epistles read of all men. We have about a minute left. Just kind of share on what it means for you in that marketplace, being a Christian and a leader.
Well, I've always, you see a lot of businesses that have God and Jesus's name on it, and I always felt like I never really wanted to promote that, but just let people see it in action. And sometimes just in our integrity, the way we treat people, the way we finish jobs, people know that there's more to it than just a business. You know what I mean? And we have kind of carried the burden. Our family, since Dad died last year, it's been just we've really tried our best to carry that mantle and work full time. And I believe God's honored that.
Amen. We have run out of time. Thank you for being a part of Rivers Edge today.